It's a very personal thing to give money to a charity, and there are a lot of charities, both nationally and locally, regionally, that I'm in competition with. So it's very hard to get the message across to people how desperate we are for funding to save endangered animals. The main income for operating our zoos, that's the Paignton Zoo, Living Coast and Newquay Zoo, comes from the gate. So basically people pay to visit the zoo, and that money generates enough for us to actually run our zoos, feed our animals, pay for our staff and everything to operate. However, in order for us to have overseas projects and work with these critically endangered animals and to make sure they are saved, that's what the additional fundraising is used for. I think the best form of support that we have is through our networking and corporate support, because from that, with working with businesses, that reaches out to the general public as well. I'm able to use the zoo and Living Coasts and Newquay Zoo as a tool in order to share and show them the work that we do, which is, I'm very lucky with doing that. There are a lot of charities that you can't actually bring people and show them what you're achieving. So we do have a great advantage in having that asset. Although I'm part of a marketing team, I am the only fundraiser. I do have great support from volunteers, so I can call on them if I need data or help with mailings or putting events together. They can support me in those areas. But yeah, it's quite a challenge.
It's me to organise volunteering at Paignton Zoo and Living Coast. We've got over 200 volunteers at the height of the summer, and so that's a huge sort of time and effort into that. Volunteering is brilliant. I'm a volunteer. I've been a volunteer for over 20 years at a variety of places, zoos, theatres. I'm a current volunteer for the National Trust at Castle Drogo, and it means that I get away from my job and I go and get to do something completely different. We get lots of volunteers who come and have a day off from their jobs as well. The most rewarding part is just getting to work with such a great bunch of volunteers. They all come to us for different reasons. They might be coming for a social reason, they might want more contact with people, they just want to come and help us out, they might want to build up their CV. And so it's really rewarding to sort of meet someone for an informal discussion first of all, find out about them, get them to come in and volunteer for us, and then really see the progress that they're making. Our volunteers don't replace any of our staff. Torbay is a real tourist hotspot, and we need to make sure that we've got jobs for our staff. And the volunteers, they come in and give it all that extra. So they might be out and about with the public, they might be fundraising, they might be behind the scenes supporting our staff. They might come in for an hour and do some food prep for the keepers, and that means the keepers can then go out and do other things.
I don't have a daily routine as such like the keepers do. My routine is more making sure the staff are okay and then liaising with the keepers on section and making sure the animals are okay under their care. And there's certain animals that are a bit more specialised for sure. Certain animals like gorillas or orangutans that have, or gorillas especially, that have more of a social group, they have to have a bit more focus and care with. Things like the elephant, who needs sort of more hands-on daily care, they need a bit more looking after. And then there's some animals that are obviously a bit easier to keep. Giraffe, like these guys, need a bit more care, but we give everything the same level of care. It just depends how much time we need to put into them. Staff management can be quite difficult, as anyone might know, but also managing the animals is the more challenging part, because actually you can't think of them like people, you've got to think of them like animals in their own habitats and how to manage them.
You know, who could not want to be in an environment like this with the animals, the plants, just the feeling that you get when you're in our zoos.
Knowing that the work that we do here is actually saving animals.